Let us understand the text properties today. And in the text properties, we'll know how to make a shadow of the text. Okay, like in normal Word, we have a shadow, a text shadow. And you can notice here we are having several properties from the text, but some of the properties are from CSS1 and 2 itself that we have already discussed right now. So these all are the CSS1 and CSS2 properties. But if we talk about this hanging punctuations, punctuation stream and all, text justify, so these are the CSS3 properties. So we have a discussion on the text shadow, adds a shadow to the text. Okay, text overflow. If some text is overflow on or with some element, what it should do? Should it wrap or it should display something, some kind of stuff is there that I will explain with you. Okay, so let us understand this in details, how to make a text shadow. Okay, now you have noticed the top line in the browser, that Chrome. I have one text here. Hi, this is the text shadow effect. So you are getting one effect in the background, right? Shadow effect in the background of the text with color red, right? There are some other which is already we had a discussions. So look it here. I have H1 and we are saying that text shadow 2 pixel, 2 pixel and then color red. Not red exactly. So 2 pixel, like what you want, left or right. So that is offset. 2 pixel right I want, 2 pixel down I want. So up and down, if you say minus, it will go up. Okay, and left. And the color, what color you want in the text shadow. We have several other transform like uppercase, lowercase, text transform. So you can see this is uppercase, lowercase and capitalize, because I'm using this 3 paragraph and saying class uppercase. So I will using this here, right? Similarly lowercase and capitalize, right? And you can see this H1 text here which is coming at this place, right? And using what? This kind of properties, isn't it? Now next is what? We are having text overflow. You can see here text overflow. I'm using two things here, ellipsis and clip. So once I say here style text overflow ellipsis, you notice that there is a one element I have. Okay, so one division is there, isn't it? And that division is having the text, right? And you notice that the division, some size and height and width is there, right? So this text is overflowing with this line, I mean this element, right? So what it is doing here, it is displaying with 3 dot. Once you say overflow ellipsis, it will display with 3 dots, right? You can check this one. Once you say clip, means it will cut it. It will not display on, like, if you don't write this style, just check your code. It will overflow the element, right? So I hope you understood this stuff. And next we have to understand 2D and 3D effect. But before understanding 2D and 3D transform, let me just open this example and tell you the text shadow here. So in this I or Internet Explorer, I'm not getting the effect here, right? And Well, so we'll open this one in Chrome and open the code also here. Well, so this is the code we have. Now we can see the effect here, right? Hi, this is the text shadow effect you are getting, right? So if I do any changes here, you just notice and get the effect here. If I say here 5 pixel and this one 5 pixel, this is a 15 pixel, save it, refresh now. So you're getting more blur here, right? In the text. Now, if I say this one just 2, okay, the blur is less, right? So this is what the text effect. And we have given the offset 5 pixel and this. If I say minus 5 pixel, let me try with this and refresh it. So it is getting up and left. So that's what we are having. One is this is for left and right. This is for up and down. If you're giving minus, it will go up. If you're giving positive, it will go down. And 2 pixel is the how much the blur will happen. So, and the color which we have used here, right? I hope you understood this text shadow now. Now next we have to understand here that this text overflow ellipsis. If I remove this stuff here, say cut and save it, now see the effect here. So that dot is not coming, right? If you want, just say ellipsis here. So it will display in 3 dot format. That means what? There are some other stuff in this paragraph, right? It is not complete, isn't it? So I'm using this text white space no wrap with overflow hidden, right? And border and the solid color of the border, height 50 pixel. So the whole text you have seen here itself in this previous example, right? The same code I'm using there. You can notice here. So this is the H1. This is a paragraph. This is the division. Okay. Well, so we understood this one. The next topic is what? 2D and 3D transform properties. So if you want to transform, there was rotate, but apart from the rotate, we are having other stuff also. Let us talk about some other properties also. So we have a transform origin and transform style, perspective, perspective origin, backface feasibility. But it is not implemented all. There are some which I'll explain here. So I'm using here transform now. Babkit hyphen transform, and then we are saying skew x. So equal to skew x 130 degree. So you can see this by 130 degree, the whole object is getting skewed, right? What is this scale? WebKit transform scale. So if object, if the size is let us say 50 by 50, if you're giving 2 by 2, so it will become twice. If you're giving 3 by 3, it will become thrice. So it will expand by horizontal and vertical, right? So this is what transform we are having. Rest you are getting here like positions and all, it is all old one, but here this is only the new with CSS3 transform. Here I will transform skew. So there's a two division we are having. Well, let me open this example here, that transform example. Now here there's no effect in I. We'll open in Mozilla, sorry, the Chrome here, Google Chrome. So you see the effect here. Now let us open the code now. Okay, come to here. So here I said 30°. So it is skewed from 30° only, right? Isn't it? If you give minus 30°, it will have a this side effect. You can notice the changes here, right? Now let us understand the scale here. If I say 1 by 1, 1 comma 1 and save it, so it is giving the original size 1 by 1, right? But if I say this one 2, so 1 by 1 is the original size. If I say 1 by 2 here in transform scale, so look at the changes here. It just expanding or becoming twice in a vertical, right? If you want horizontal also, then say here 2 by 2. So both horizontal and vertical both are expanding, right? If I say 3 by 3, let me try. So it is becoming bigger and bigger. So in what ratio you want to scale your object, that you can do. Sometimes what happen, you might have faced many times or seen many times that if I have this one object or any image, if I bring the mouse, it is becoming bigger. So you are having big images, right? So you're taking two images, but this guy will help you to do what? Just scaling the image. You need not to make two images. The same image can be scaled and you can display it. So you can save the space also, right? Here I've just tried with division only, right? So we can try with some kind of images. So my div, okay. Let me use one image here. So img src equal to, there are some image I have, so I can use that one. So word, let me try this one. Okay, but.gif, copy and paste it here. Okay, this is the image I have. Just have a break here. Okay, now here I just make one sorry, x as an id, and here I say scale it. So by default is 1 by 1. Let me try here, and in this image I'll say id equal to x, right? Let us see here now. So one image is coming in the same size, right? If I make it here 2 by 2, what will happen? So what you have noticed, this image has become bigger, right? The You can just write this position top 100 left 200 pixel. Okay, and now try this. If I say here 1, so you have noticed that the image is scaling, right? So I need not to go for new images, right? If I say 1 by 1, it has become original size, right? So this is a very good feature to enlarge the any stuff. Okay, the next, that is a very good features, transition properties we are having. So we can have a again effect that once I bring the mouse, some transition will happen. You know the transition in the PowerPoint, right? If some slide come, some transition happen. So that we can do here. So we have a transition for the shorthand property, and transition property and transition duration, transition timing function, and transition delay. So let us understand how these transitions work. If we talk about transition property, it is why the name of the CSS property the transition effect is for, right? And transition duration is why how many seconds or millisecond a transition effect takes to complete. That is what transition duration. Transition timing is why the speed curve of the transition speed, transition effect. So there are some function, I'll tell you what is that. Transition delay. So that's why when the transition effect will start. Let us understand here. So first, transition property is shorthand property for the 4 transition property. You can spy the separately also, transition property, durations and timing. You can spy together like this: transition property, duration and timing function and delay, right? Okay, look at this example here. The background, there is a one division. Okay, so this division is having width 100% and height 100%, sorry, 100 pixel. Background is a green here. Now we are saying that transition width, so it will go like width. If you say height, it will go down. Okay, so 2 seconds. And transition width, so it is for Mozilla, WebKit and Opera, for all we are specifying here. And then we are having some div hover, means once I bring the mouse on that, it should go to 300 pixel and background will become pink. Let us open this example. So where is the transition? It is here. This transition, look at here. So you're not getting a good effect here in the Internet Explorer here, right? But if I open this guy in a Chrome, so have you seen the difference here? See, once I'm going or bringing the mouse on this division like this, right? So see the effect here. Okay, so this time we are saying width and height. So let us cancel the height here. Slash star and star slash. Okay, so this will go for just width only. I save it and say refresh. What you have noticed here, it is going just width only, right? Width. So here we have a spy height also, that we have to remove. Height and width, don't give that. Now check the difference here. Once you are bringing the mouse, see the delay here, right? If you give, say here, we are using BabeKit, so we can do the changes here itself, right? And let me just write comma height here. Okay. Here this time I say 5 second. Look it now. So it is taking 5 seconds to complete it, right? Isn't it? This is what we have a transition. Clear? There are some user interface properties but not implemented. Okay. So we understood all the properties which is new with CSS3, right? If we talk about CSS selector, in CSS selectors are pattern used to select the elements you want to style. So there are certain selectors we are having, like we are using dot and then we are using ID, some giving name and all, right? We can give paragraph, isn't it? Just now we have used div colon hover, right? Anchor colon hover. So once someone go on anchor, I mean the link, the bring the mouse, okay, it will do some job. So you can specify here itself. In the paragraph, we are having first letter. Suppose you want to capitalize the first letter, okay, or first line, right? And say first child, some child element is there. So P before something will happen, after something will happen. That all we can specify here. So these all kind of pseudo, we can say pseudo property here. Just understand the more stuff that I'm not getting it. So measurement values, as we know, there's a different kind of unit we are having, like percentage we can give, inch we can give, centimeter, millimeter, em we can give. So where 1 em, you know that equal to the current font size, 2 em means 2 times. Generally 1 em is a 16 pixel, okay. Ex, you can give the x height. pt 1 point means, if you're writing 1 point means it is a 1 by 72 inch. 1 pc means it's a pica, it's equal to 12 points. If you say 1 pixel, it's a dot of one computer screen, right? So CSS colors, as I discussed, it could be the hexadecimal, RGB, like that, right? So you can see this, you can say red, green, blue, you can directly specify the color name, or you can use the hexadecimal color, or you can use this functions RGB. So these are the three ways to mention the, okay. Now HTML5 is still in the making, but for any SEO expert who tries to look ahead, some knowledge about HTML5 and how it will impact SEO is not unnecessary informations. So I can say here, a lot of HTML5 and tag has been introduced, which is recognized by the SEO. If you're using that tag, it's good for your website or applications, right? There are certain tags has been added, like in HTML5, as you know, that we are having article tag, right? Section tag, header tag, footer tag, and navigation tag. So this is for navigation bar or menu bar which we create. This is for the footer, which we have a footer, some details, header information, some sections, right? So these all tags which is easily are recognized by the search engine optimizations, right? If you use this tag, it is good for your applications, right? Okay, so that's all about understanding of the stuff which I explained here. You have noticed that how to make transitions, how to make fonts add on, all right? Transitions all we have discussed, and transform. So that's all about understanding of these all stuff.